Let's give you a roundup of voter registration across the country. Let's go first to SABC News reporter Kim Daniels, who is at the Keiha Primary School, and that is out in Gqeberha for the latest. Good evening to you, Kim. So in terms of the numbers as they've been coming through from the Electoral Commission South Africa, IEC, the Eastern Cape is one of the three leading provinces in terms of the number of people that have showed up for either new registration or to verify their details. But what does that look and sound like on the ground?
Good afternoon. I didn't quite get your question, but I can tell you that today voter registration in the areas that we visited was far more quieter than it was yesterday. Yesterday, that being the first day of registration, we saw people come in drops and drabs into various areas. We were at Keiha Primary School, one of the wards, a township informal settlement. We were in New Brighton, where we know the crime rate is very high. Today we went into the suburbs, into the business areas, and then again to the northern areas in Heath Park, where we obviously know drug and gangsterism is quite rife. We've been seeing people come out in drops and drabs, but the registration is now officially over. It's after 5. I mean, even if I look behind me, the party agents and the parties getting people to register or calling people from the street, they are also now packing up and going away. It has been a very, very interesting weekend here in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro over this past weekend, and it is quite a significant one, especially considering the fact that we haven't seen one party dominate in close to 10 years. We've seen coalition governments, quick changes of leadership, and a lot of political instability. And as we understand, that political instability is accompanied with the challenge of service delivery issues. And I mean, from the various areas, from the richest to the poorest areas, the service delivery issues remain the same. The people of Nelson Mandela Bay want water, and they want a steady supply of electricity, something that has been quite interrupted over the past number of years. Obviously, as we go into different areas, like in the northern areas, the outcry is for the stop against gangsterism, for the stop against the drug trade. The residents there saying that they liked when the army was deployed here, when they went into these houses and raided. It's something they want to see more of. Speaking to the younger generation, we have seen a lot of young people, those under the ages of 29, under in that age group of 18 to 19, a lot of them registering, saying that they want to see a difference. They want a future where they have service deliveries, where they have lights on the street, where they have a clean supply of running water. And alongside these issues, you know, they also speak about the road infrastructure, the aging infrastructure, and the very high unemployment rate. So the votes of the people that are registering here in Nelson Mandela Bay are going towards that. They're looking for a party that will fix these issues or will sort these issues out. But even though registration weekend has officially come to a close, those who haven't registered yet or still need to update their details can do so online on the IEC's website. I did it myself. It was very quick, very efficient. It didn't take a lot of time at all, and you can do this up until our Cocta Minister on the 7th of August finally gazettes, you know, the date for the elections that our President Ramaphosa announced as being the 4th of November. It's going to be a very, very interesting couple of months leading up to the elections with the campaigning of the various parties. Our big three here in the Bay, that being the DA, the ANC, and the EFF, and then we see parties creeping in, gaining a lot of support, that being the Patriotic Alliance and Action SA, and even the FF Plus have made some strides in gaining support in the area. So, and I'm sure these parties will be speaking to these service delivery issues, as we've seen them, you know, going at each other and pointing out these mistakes. So it'll be a very interesting time for the Bay, and we will be keeping an eye on it. But for now, from us in Gqeberha, it's back to you guys.
All right, Kim, before you go, I like what you did there, fusing in the service delivery issues that are pertinent to various regions of the Eastern Cape and fusing it in with the voter registration weekend. If I may, can I ask you to just pick up on that theme of political parties and how big a prize they view municipalities in the Eastern Cape to be electorally. I know, for instance, that the DA was seeing certain parts of the Eastern Cape as potential new battlefield, right, where they can, your Kocha municipality was initially a battlefield municipality, but it seems they eventually secured it. But they do see that there are certain other municipalities where they can seriously challenge. And I don't imagine that would be different for other political parties, be they in opposition in Nelson Mandela Bay or part of the governing arrangement in that municipality, as well as the more rural municipalities of the Eastern Cape as well.
Tula, I'm struggling to hear you because people are singing behind us. But as you know, the Eastern Cape is a very, very vast province. We do boast two metros, that being the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro and the Buffalo City, but we have a lot of rural areas as well that, pushing up into the Transkei. I saw my colleague yesterday, Nomzwanele. She was at Mandela Park where, residents even blocked a voting station because they said they were so tired of the local government disappointing them over and over again. They said that they wouldn't vote. So there hasn't been a lot of these incidents that were reported on in the Eastern Cape. There were no incidents like that here in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro itself. But I did, however, see a tweet from Action SA's leader, Ethel Trollip, yesterday, where he said his registration team that was in Zwede, they were robbed of their cell phones and laptops. Zwede is also one of the areas, or one of the more dangerous areas within the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, and he was just made a call to the IEC to bring more security, to bring more safety, to ensure that everyone does have a safe and secure registration opportunity, to know that when they go, to these stations, that they won't be robbed, that they won't be mugged. And as we understand, the Nelson Mandela Bay, Gqeberha specifically, was one of the most dangerous cities once upon a time, that being with the kidnapping, with the gangsterism, with the shootings, the many mass shootings we've had here. So I know these voters are looking towards finding a party that will heed to their calls of safety, of security, to reduce crime, especially in the city. As I did mention, I heard you say, me speaking about the big three, the ANC, the DA and the EFF, they are in a coalition government along with a lot of smaller parties here, and those smaller parties making big strides in the Nelson Mandela Bay in terms of garnering support, that being Action SA, the Patriotic Alliance and the Vryheidsfront Plus. They are also here garnering support and, just trying to get more seats in our 120-seat council here in the Bay.
All right, Kim, thank you for that comprehensive coverage there, and just fusing in really her own understanding of the back of the woods, the neck of the woods for her, where she actually works and actually stomps the pavement on a daily basis. SABC News reporter Kim Daniels reporting for us there from Kecha Primary School, and that is out in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape.